Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan from Seaway Sports Lounge, and this is another episode of Leafs Timeout. Now, first of all, hoping everybody is having a great summer. And second of all, I just want to do a quick apology for any videos that I haven't done over the past 2 weeks. I've been recovering from an illness, a summer cold, essentially, and it's one of the most brutal ones I've seen in the last 20 years. Anyway, my voice, I ended up losing my voice for a short period of time. Now I've regained it, but if you might catch it a little bit in the video, I apologize ahead of time. So I just wanted you to be aware that I haven't forgotten about the Leafs and the news, obviously. I wasn't able to do any videos. In this video, we're going to go over, obviously, the news that's been happening lately. We're going to go over Matt Murray, Nick Abruzzese with his signing today, Samsonov, and of course, Guy Boucher and Mike Van Ryn's hirings. So with that, let's just get right into it. So Matt Murray was placed on LTIR again. He is out indefinitely prior to the season, according to TSN. This news came out not long ago, a few days actually ago. Anyway, doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know what happened. Nobody really knows what happened here, why he's injured again, but he's out and he's been placed. And they say out indefinitely, which means he's going to be probably out for quite a while, which means the money that we have will end up being put back into the cap space. So 4.6 million will be returned back to the Maple Leafs, which means Joseph Woll now has the chance to become the full-time backup goalie to the Maple Leafs, which is great. His numbers were excellent last year. He was 6-1. He did all he could during those playoffs. He kept the Leafs going as best he could. I thought he did an excellent job, and he deserves a chance to be the backup of this team, potentially the starter in the future. Toronto is waiting to see how he will respond. At the moment, Toronto is currently just under 2.1 million over the cap. There was a lot of concern about the cap hit recently because of the fact there was over 12 million, which is completely understandable. But because of Muzzin's hit that he has, and it's on LTIR, and now Matt Murray, Toronto's just shy of $2 million over. So I expect a few deals or send a few players down to the minors, which will alleviate those numbers. But time will tell if the Leafs will make any more moves. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Nick Abruzzese today actually was re-signed to a 2-year, 2-way deal. His deal will be worth $775,000 per season at the NHL level. Now, Nick Abruzzese is a depth player that was on the Marlies for a while, and now he ended up being called up to the Toronto Maple Leafs last year for 2 games. He ended up getting 2 assists. I think he's a great player. I watched him play those 2 games. I mean, it's a very small sample size, but either or, I think he's going to be very helpful for them down the line, especially with the cap hits and that are coming along if Toronto continues to have their cap trouble. I think he's going to have a chance to play at least in the first few games of the year. I think he's that good. I think he will go through camp and actually make the team. So he has been re-signed, and that is good news for Toronto. Another Maple Leaf draft pick has been retained. That's what you need to do. Now, Samsonov. Now, Elias Samsonov was awarded a 1-year, $3.55 million deal. I put out a small short of this just as it was happening that day. Now I'll do it in the long form. Maple Leafs needed a starting goalie. Let's be honest. Joseph Woll, I mean, he had a great year last year, but you know what? He needs more time at the backup role for now. They brought Samsonov in last year because he didn't get a qualifying offer from the Capitals. He certainly proved that he could be the number one, and he was excellent last year. And he was the only goalie that was able to get the Maple Leafs past the first round in 19 years. So he ended up getting essentially almost double the money he had last year, which was 1.8 million. He filed for 4.9. Of course, teams spent at 2.4. That's usually how it goes with arbitration. And then they end up finding somewhere near the middle, and that's where they are right now. So that's what they've done. Samsonov's locked up for a year. We'll have to see how he plays. I expect him to play his heart out because it's just the way he does things. And of course, he's trying to play for more money. Now, whether it's the Maple Leafs the following year or another team, we'll have to see. But Samsonov is locked up. He is now part of the team again. We move on from there. And finally, the Maple Leafs hired 2 assistant coaches. They hired Guy Boucher. Now, Guy Boucher, as we all know, was the former head coach of the Ottawa Senators and the Tampa Bay Lightning a few years prior. And Mike Van Ryn was a former Maple Leaf, actually. Anyway, he was a defenseman, and now he was an assistant coach with the St. Louis Blues when he retired as a player. So Toronto brought them in. Guy Boucher will be the guy who will run the power play, according to what I was reading. And Mike Van Ryn, of course, will continue his defensive knowledge and be the defensive help with the defense of the team. With Spencer Carberry gone with the Capitals, Toronto needed to hire a new assistant. So apparently they decided to go with 2 of them. So I think these two hires are excellent for the team, gives them another view. It gives Sheldon Keefe more depth, more experienced coaches that will help him with decisions that need to be made. And I really think this is the best that they can do right now. There are other coaches out there, but Brad Treliving suggested that he wanted to keep Sheldon Keefe for a year, which I was a little surprised. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And they brought in some extra help. So we'll have to see how the Maple Leafs handle with these new guys. So that is it. That is it for this video. I hope everyone liked it. I hope it was informative. If you want to see more of what we're doing, please hit the notification bell in the video. Also, if you want to hit like or subscribe, that would be great. Helps with the channel, helps with the content. And as the news continues to filter out, hopefully I'll be able to tell you. Hopefully I don't want to get another illness like this for a little while. Basically, I just wanted to say it is like, hopefully the videos will be coming. Hopefully more information soon. Dog days of summer right now, so it's a little quiet. So with that, hope everyone's having a great summer, and we will talk soon.